If you would have told me when I was a kid that I would be able to communicate in real time with friends that I met around the globe and actually be able to work on a project together, I would have thought it was total science fiction you were talking about. But I'm so thankful to be able to have this opportunity to meet other people with the same interests as me. Today, I am super excited to get to tell you about a project I'm doing with Litsa at Coco's Crochet, and she is someone I met who lives in Australia. So I haven't met her in real life, but her and I have been communicating. We knew we wanted to work on a project together, but some of the issues, as she is in a different, not only is she in a different country, she is in a different hemisphere. So while I am freezing here in Iowa in the United States, we just came out of some very cold spells. It was like 30 below with wind chill. She is actually in the middle of summer, and she said she was melting. It was kind of hard for us to work on a project that would work well for both of us because, you know, this time of year, I need hats and scarves and heavy stuff, and that's the last thing on her mind at this point. And, you know, it would be vice versa. We kind of got looking at other avenues we could go on, but again, the weather and some of our holidays like really didn't match up either. We had kind of kicked around the idea of doing a project involving like our flags colors, because they are actually the same, but we had thought about doing that. But again, it's like our national holidays are totally different. Australia Day just happened here in January, and you know, 4th of July for us is the 4th of July. I guess you would call it Independence Day here. So this left us kind of like just bouncing back and forth, trying to figure out what would be a great thing for both of us to do. If you've been around here a while, you know that I definitely like to save money. I like to be as frugal, as thrifty as possible. What I've come to find out is things are actually quite expensive in Australia. So it's definitely in their best interest as well to be as frugal and thrifty as possible. So I had been wanting to work on a project for a while, a little bit of a challenge where I went to the thrift store and found some items and then upcycled them with crochet, because for me that just seemed like combining a couple of my favorite things to do. The best part is she was totally up for it. They have thrift stores there too. You know, everyone, you know, still needs clothes. We're not walking around nude here. We decided that would be a really fun way for us to work on projects that would both suit our needs the best, while still doing the same thing. This will be a 3-part video. The next video we will have a month from now. It'll be, if you are in America, that first Friday night of March. And if you are in Australia, please, I don't know why I'm struggling with these time zones so much, but I believe it will be that first Saturday of March at noon that these will come out. And then the same as April. I'm not going to give too much away in advance. I'm going to take you back in time, and we're going to walk around the thrift store a little bit, and I'm going to reveal to you what I did get, like what I think I'm going to do, and what the yarn is going to be if everything goes as planned. And then we will have that third video where we will reveal what we were actually able to make. If you would like to kind of play along with us, we would absolutely love it and love to see your pictures and everything. It can be, like I said, an item you got at the thrift store, and both her and I, we didn't like check in on each other or anything, but we're both going to be doing tops. We will be upcycling tops with crochet. So I don't know what she's picked. I don't know what her plans are, nor does she know mine, but just coincidentally, we both ended up with tops. If you're wanting to kind of play along with us, it can be, you know, one that you thrifted, it could be like a garage sale, it could be a hand-me-down, it could be something that's been in your closet for a long time and you're just not wearing because it's just not right. You could upcycle any of those things. And And since it's not easy to communicate on YouTube, if you are on Instagram, I would love it if you would reach out to either myself or Litsa. And I'm going to go ahead and I will put her Instagram handle up here so that you can either, if you want, follow her or send her a direct message on there. Coco's Crochet _ is how you're going to get a hold of Litsa. And mine is shannon.talks.yarn. I don't know why Instagram has to be so difficult. You can send us these photos. We would love to share those. You can either send them directly to us. If you upload that item or like a slideshow of what you're doing, if you upload that and then tag us in it. So you would just do the @ and then the name, and then you can also do it in your hashtag. So hashtag Shannon Talks Yarn. But doing the @ is the best way for us to see it. And then also kind of let us know if you give us permission to share that on our channels. I live very, very rurally, and I don't really have a lot of stores nearby me where I can just go and shop for clothes that easily. I mean, it's a minimum of an hour for me, but I do have a thrift store. It's like a consignment store, actually, and it only takes me about 15 minutes to get there. So I really like going. The prices are pretty low. If you've watched a couple of my videos recently, I picked up a couple vests while I was thrifting, and I've already worn those. One was in the video I did on the mob wife aesthetic trend that's going on, and it had the fur. And then in another video, not sure what that one was called. I think it was about spending less on yarn. I was wearing another like faux leather vest, and I thrifted both of those for $6 each. This is probably the first time, and maybe one of the only times, you're going to see me in like a commercially made beanie. This one is the North Face, and I actually got this at the thrift store for $2 because it has this like fleece lining in it, and I thought this would be great when I actually have to be outside in the cold, because the beanies I make are for like fun and fashion and not for like being out in what feels like the Arctic tundra. So I did pick this up, and then I also got this fleece pullover, and this is Land's End, and I believe I paid $6 for this as well. So a couple good finds, and yes, of course, everything is washed. Don't worry about that. But I did walk around for a while and just really checked out the different things at this store to see. I was worried that there might not be anything there, because if you thrift, it is definitely a hit or miss. So I was a little worried, but I did look around a little bit and check out some different stuff. And even there was a few items there in the store that I could really kind of just pull some inspiration from, which I thought was super helpful. And this consignment store, it has everything. So it has everything except a great craft department. I noticed they did start putting up a little bookshelf with craft stuff, but it was not. It was a mess. I'm going to be honest. It was pretty much a disaster. And I will put that footage in my next video because there was a little bit of yarn and a few items, so I did take some footage of that. You know, there's like a bedding section, a blanket section, and I always check out the crochet blankets because even though I can make my own, I like to check it out to see if there's any like beautiful blanket that is in need of rescuing. Sometimes you find blankets that have been washed 1,000 times and are very pilly. Sometimes you find ones that are very strange color combinations. Sometimes you find them that have very like outdated color combinations. And I feel like a lot of times I find blankets at the thrift store that are just super duper scratchy, and that's probably why they ended up there. But once in a while you find a real gem that somebody obviously did not know what they had and they dropped that off. So those are the ones that the rescue blankets. They need to come home with me. They need to be rescued. I've been watching Litsa for quite a while. She really is an amazing crocheter, and she's got a few like mini series on her channels that I find pretty interesting. One of them is a playlist on Ogo yarn, and I love seeing it because The Ogos got such bad reception here in the United States. People hated them, hated the format of them, just nobody liked them. I'm okay with them because I won that contest. So I got a ton of free ones, so I'm not complaining. But it's interesting because Litsa's not complaining either. She was able to score a whole bunch of them for like rock bottom prices at a store there in Australia. And the Ogos were not, they're not native to Australia. Like they didn't seem to be sold for like regular in the stores. Like it was something she got as like an outlet or a discount. And she is working through those, and she is putting together a playlist of things you can do. So I think it's great where if you have some and you're avoiding using them because you don't like the format of them, check out her playlist for some inspiration on what you can do with these Ogos. But she's got a couple other playlists as well, and she's got a blanket yarn playlist because they are able to buy mill ends in a much different way than we are here. I know for me, I've ordered mill ends from Mary Maxim before, and I know Hirschner's has them sometimes too, but I think a lot of times it's just kind of a guess what you're going to get, like a total mystery, where they have a store called Spotlight there, and they seem to have routinely putting out bags of mill ends. So you don't necessarily get to feel it. There's no information on like what weight it is. But you see the color, you know, and you can kind of get an idea of what you're working with. She was able to get a bunch of gorgeous blanket yarn mill ends. So she's got a playlist for that. She's currently doing a crochet along, and she also has a Crochet Society subscription box playlist as well. She does try to have a Thursday night podcast every week if you want to check out some of her regular content. I would encourage you to. I have been enjoying her channel for quite a while now. If you feel like coming along on this fun thrift journey with us, we would absolutely love that. Please go check out her channel if you have not already. And let me know down in the comments, have you ever purchased crochet items at a thrift store that you could easily make yourself? I look forward to seeing you again next month for the follow-up to this video. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell so you'll be notified when that video comes out. I want to thank Litsa so much for participating in this project with me. It means a lot that someone was able to go out a limb and kind of try something a little bit different and off the wall and a little bit more challenging. For now, I want to thank you so much for watching this video, especially if you made it to the very end. Thank you so much, and we'll talk yarn again soon. Bye!